Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Tales from the Bridge. My name is Tristan.
And I'm Ryan.
And this is another Trivia from the Bridge episode. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, that's so good to be back. I've had a little bit of a break, eh?
A little bit of a break, but we're doing a callback to an episode we recorded a while ago with Joseph Marcell and David Menkin, and I have to say, this might be the most fun trivia episode we have done.
I think it was, and it was such a treat as well, obviously, because, David was, of course, was lovely, but Joseph was such a childhood, hero and so much a part of our growing up, right?
And surprisingly science fiction based. When we talked to Joseph Marcell, often known as Jeffrey from Fresh Prince, you think, well, why sci-fi? But we talk a lot about sci-fi here, including one book in particular, the Illuminatus trilogy, by Robert Shea and Robert Anton Wilson. If there's anyone out there who really liked The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because you like that mix of comedy and science fiction, you've got to check out this book, The Illuminatus trilogy.
Yeah, and that kind of came out of nowhere, right? I mean, it was was on his shelf behind him, I believe, is how that...
And I have a copy, and I think you have a copy as well.
I do, yeah. It was from forever ago.
And then David Menkin, who's the voice of Luke Skywalker in the Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. And then also, most recently, I'm not sure if you knew this, Ryan, but he is one of the characters in the new Final Fantasy XVI game.
Oh, I did not know that, actually.
And if you're just hearing this trivia episode for the first time, go back and check out our other ones. Who did you really enjoy, Ryan?
The Dominic Monaghan episode easily was one of my favorites.
And then we've had Sean Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy. I really enjoyed the Cory Doctorow and Shauna Maguire. We had both of them on, and that was fun. A lot of people listen to Tales from the Bridge because they're into science fiction books, and we want to get more authors playing this game with us, so it just opens up conversation, and it's fun for listeners to play along. All right, well, should we head over there?
Let's make our way over to the bridge.
Well, what the hell does Guelph mean?
It's the sound a cat makes when it throws up, I think.
That's on your town flag, isn't it?
Yeah, not really sure where the name came from, actually.
It has a bit of a reputation of being kind of the Portland of Canada, or the Portland of Ontario, rather.
Oh,
okay.
It's
kind of the progressive, more forward thinking of the mid-sized towns or cities, I guess.
Great place. Shame about the name.
So many creative people. Maybe somebody can come up with something else.
Yes, absolutely.
That's right.
I just say hello to David. How you doing, David?
Hello. I haven't had a chance to work with you, but I have friends who have, and they say that you're absolutely wonderful to work with. So
right. Okay. Where do I send the check?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll deal with that later.
Thank you.
And you guys, you're just a few miles away from each other, even though in London, I'm sure it feels like a world away in some ways. But that's neat that we have you both from London right now.
Where are you, Joseph?
I'm in Ealing.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm in the
West.
Barbican.
Oh, well, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's close, is it?
Well, it is now. We have something called the Elizabeth line.
The
which
Elizabeth
is now,
line.
Which is
right.
connecting us like you wouldn't believe. So we are about 25 minutes away from each other rather than 45 to 50.
45 to an hour and a half, depending on. Yes.
What's the closest stadium? Where would you go to watch a football game?
For me,
I guess there's too many, isn't there?
It would be Emirates Stadium is the closest one, which is Arsenal Stadium.
Right.
And I guess for you, Joseph, it would be Twickenham, right?
No, it'd be Wembley.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Wembley.
Right.
Twickenham as well. Queen's Park Rangers and maybe Fulham and Chelsea. So we're right in the middle of it all. Yeah.
Well, hold on a second. We don't have a Chelsea fan here, do we?
God, no.
Not yet. Please go on.
No.
Okay, just checking. I don't want to.
And I've got the Olympic Park close to me as well, which is now
nice.
Right.
One of the football teams is taking over. I don't know. Please don't have football.
West Ham or something like that.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. That's it. West Ham in East London. Yeah,
in East London.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So I think we are good to go. And again, thank you so much for joining us. And I think Ryan can kick us up. All
right. So round one, question one. This epic poem is based on a man's journey home after the Trojan War. Name that poem.
Now, I can only think of Umaros, which is the Greek name, but
Yeah, me
What
too.
What was the main?
Main character on The Simpsons.
Oh, okay. So it's Homer's
Yeah.
Odyssey.
Yes.
The Odyssey. That's right.
The
Yeah, you got it.
Odyssey.
Yeah.
Very
now,
good.
now I couldn't remember Homer, but I did the epic poem by Derek Walcott called Umaros, which is the Greek name. It's the name the Greeks used for Homer, and I couldn't remember.
Oh yeah. Okay, I think
remember
actually
Homer.
Joseph should get at least a half a point for that because
I would say that
that's a deep dive. Wow, beautiful. Well done.
Yeah, we're not
Wow.
smart enough to know all that.
Thank goodness. Thank you for teaching us something. Finally, oh my goodness, that's amazing.
Old age gets the better of you.
All right.
Okay.
Tristan.
Question number 2. In the 1955 Patricia Highsmith novel, The Talented Mr. Ripley, a disturbed Tom Ripley murders Dickie Greenleaf in order to assume his identity. What weapon does Tom use?
it is the oar from the rowboat that they rent.
It is
Very good.
It is,
And
Wow.
very good. Is there a reason why you know this one, David?
Yes, that was I did the unabridged version of The Talented Mr. Ripley, the audiobook, and
Fantastic.
had to I started panicking when I realized that I got to my 20th Italian person, and when he says, you could hear that he'd grown up in the UK, but had definitely been educated at Harvard. And I was like, oh, God damn it. An Italian person. All right, fine. So, but I got away with most of it, supposedly. But yes,
Fantastic.
it is an amazing, amazing book. And I still get emails and tweets about it when people
Nice.
find it. Because and then of course now they're making a TV series about it.
Oh, I didn't know
really?
that.
Are they
I
really?
know.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, cool. Very good to know. And that's available on Audible, I believe.
Yeah,
That's
that's
where I
right.
see it. Amazing.
Yeah.
They have everything there now. They're doing a good job.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. That's awesome.
I also just love the idea of the suspended disbelief of everyone around him as he assumes his identity too. That's such a beautiful narrative piece, right? How like the glasses and the mannerisms and stuff, but he just somehow manages to. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yes. and supposedly it is a very I did a podcast with Patricia Highsmith's biographer, and there's a lot about her in Tom as well. There was supposedly.
Right.
She was a complicated person who wrote about complicated people.
Right. Extraordinary.
Love it.
Mhm.
All right. Okay. So jumping over to question 3. With over 4,000 lines, what is William Shakespeare's longest play?
No, I would hazard a guess and say it is King Lear.
Yeah, it is not actually.
It is.
Is
not.
it another king?
A prince?
Yeah,
Prince.
Prince. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm.
Oh
Yeah.
God, not Hamlet.
It is.
Oh,
It is Hamlet, Polonius.
Oh, my
It is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Joseph played Polonius, and that was not too long ago. When was that actually?
that finished in November at the Young Vic. I've played Polonius and I played Claudius. Yeah, twice. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a pretty smashing production with Cush Jumbo playing the prince. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's a reason I couldn't get a ticket.
And Joseph, are you still on the board? Is it the Globe?
Yes.
Yeah.
I still am, and I believe I'll be. I expect they'll be giving me an honor very soon, maybe next month. But
Oh, amazing.
I can't talk about it because until I can't preempt their
Sure. Of
announcement.
course. Yeah.
And I was part of the fundraiser for the Globe when I was a student. And I went to an American school, and Mr. Wanamaker came and spoke to us, and then we became very heavily involved in fundraising.
Right.
So I have a lot of very embarrassing time capsules buried in the basement, and and I think we're getting close to them being opened. And I'm
exhumed.
Oh, yes. So
Well, you went to the American school in St. John's Wood?
No, I went to the one in Surrey in Cobham.
Surrey. Oh, I see. You're right.
And
you can't be that old. I mean,
I
you're
am.
talking about the 80s there, man.
I was part of the first. I was part of the chorus for the first public production there, which was a celebration for Shakespeare's birthday, organized by Mark Rylance, and I was part of his chorus for that because I'd raised enough money. So and then I had it as my first credit on my CV, which is very exciting.
Good for you.
Yes,
a proper angel.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
gold-plated angel. Wow. My story is kind of weird, and it may sound as though I'm showing off, but Othello hadn't been played in London. Once it was played in London in 18-something by Ara Aldridge, and it hadn't been played in London by a non-white actor since the 50s when Paul Robeson did it with Dame Peggy Ashcroft. And I played Othello in London in 1984. Good year. And a year later, a man called Nicholas Kent introduced me to Mr. Wanamaker, who said, "Yeah, I saw your Othello, man. It was pretty good." And it was one of those moments where I go, "What? You were there?" Wow. And then he asked me to join the artistic directorate, and and it's been So we have this serendipitous
That's
meeting
beautiful.
with Mr. Wanamaker.
Yeah,
Very
amazing
cool.
man who made something amazing happen.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, extraordinary. And also, I mean, he not only that. I mean, he gave the power back to the actors. He really did. I mean, he gave the actors a creative impetus that had been taken away by directors. Not that. I mean, I love directors but the actor could make a definite contribution, whereas before, bring on the cows.
Yeah, we're not going to open that can of worms.
Yes, no, let's not. Well, David, man,
hey,
props to you, sir,
and certainly props to you.
Oh, that's cool. That's unexpected. I feel like I have some more homework to do now. But,
indeed.
You guys,
great.
You guys are great.
Love that.
All right, we'll move along here. Question 4 in round 1 is: Sidney Poitier was not a Best Actor Oscar nominee in 1967. One theory is that votes were split among all 3 of these performances, with no one single title getting enough ballots for him to be nominated. Can you name the 3 films? Now, we'll just take 1 or 2 if you can, but there are 3 films that are just unbelievably fantastic films with amazing performances by Sidney, but he didn't get any votes because there was an equal amount of ballots cast for these films, and that's why he didn't get the vote.
He did so much great work in 1 year. Yeah.
Oh, man. I names. I mean, and what was the film with Steiger called?
Ever wondered what it takes to make it in the movie business? Peel back the curtain with 4-6 Success Filmmaking. 4-6 Success Filmmaking is where filmmakers share their stories and the secrets.
It's beyond competitive out there.
There have been movies that it's taken me 10 years to get made.
Don't wait to create. Like, you've got to just keep making stuff.
Tune in to 4-6 Success Filmmaking for your dose of cinematic realness, direct from the voices that have lived it.
You've got it. That's In the Heat of the Night.
In the Heat of the Night.
Yes.
That's one of them.
No, I think he won the Oscar for that. Did he? No. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
Nice.
Yes.
The other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's one more, and I'll give you a little clue because I remember my dad showed us this one when I was a kid, and he loved that Lulu sang the theme song.
To Sir with Love.
Very good.
Sir with Love.
3 out of 3. I had never actually heard of that last one, so I was out of the
No?
running for sure. No, I hadn't. No, your father raised you on a lot of movies, though. So
Well, he's born in the 40s in England and raised there. So I yes, of course, grew up with British food. Had lots of flavor, and so did my television, which was just British sitcoms and World War II movies.
Wow. So Angel Delight and good films.
Yes.
Trust me, if you don't know what Angel Delight is, you don't need
you're not
to
missing anything.
Google it.
Okay, good. I don't need to. I'll scratch that off my list. Perfect.
All right, let's move
All
along
right.
there.
Okay, so last question of the first round: what was the first and only comic book to ever win the World Fantasy Award in 1991?
Oh shoot!
Wow.
I'm guessing this is a question that maybe I might know something about, but not know something about.
Yeah.
1991.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
gaining popularity.
Oh yeah, especially
Recently.
right now. Yeah.
Well,
Maybe a TV show coming out soon too.
oh, hold on. Nope. No.
That's all right. That's all right.
Because I'm worried about spoilers, so therefore
No.
I'm scared to say anything.
No.
but,
It's all good. It also was a one-off. So this only ever happened one time. It was the
Okay.
only time a comic was ever allowed to win it. Also, and it was the Sandman, Gaiman's Sandman,
Of
and
course.
it was specifically issue 19, A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Wow.
That ended
Wow.
up winning it, and
Okay.
the literary community was so angry about it that there's actually a rule now that graphic novels and comic books cannot win. Nothing has obviously since 91, but yeah, I love it. I love that he managed to sneak in there as the only.
That's
Good
wild.
Lord.
Yeah,
And Joseph has done voice work in the I think it was an Audible production as well, was it not, for Sandman?
yeah, for
Yeah.
Sandman. Yeah,
No.
Yes, directed by Dirk Maggs, who is probably the best audio play director out there. He is
Wow.
amazing. He started with I think it was Batman was his first one. I think he did a Superman as well. He's the one who's responsible for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Wow.
He is an amazing talent, and he manages to create soundscapes unlike anybody else, and that's why Neil Gaiman works with him all the time. And yes, so I am a very small cog in the Netflix version, which is coming out later this year.
Oh wow.
Well,
Yes.
I'll look out for that.
that's cool. I
So-
actually did not realize. That's fantastic.
Yes. So and
Yeah.
and
We're not supposed to know.
No,
This is inside
absolutely.
news.
Yes.
Comes out
so
later, much
so
later.
I was very lucky to be part of it. But that's all I'm allowed to
Yeah.
say.
You mentioned Neil Gaiman. Was he
Yes.
involved in any way?
He was in New Zealand, so he was. He's. I think he's not show running it, but he was very hands-on. So he was watching the rushes every day and stuff like that.
Sort of supervising producer kind of.
Yes.
Mhm.
And do you know what? I love the fact that he sticks the finger up to the establishment a lot of times, and pretty much was the one who told his publishers that anything that he's written has to be available to schools and libraries, I think, for free. And
Good.
Wow.
that's how you create readers.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, he's such a talented writer, one of the best, and also it's safe to say a really good person. He's doing some great stuff, and great example, David, of what he's doing with schools. Like, wow.
Yep.
And using
Must be.
that fame and talent to a very good ends, right? He's not just trying to use it for his own gain. He's being altruistic about his power, right? Which is great.
Yeah,
Nice to
and I
see.
mean, without banging a drum or moving it into left field. I mean, he did a I think, what was it, 8 hours study, 8 hour long episodes of a Caribbean folktale, children's story called the Anansi Stories.
Yeah.
Right.
And we did that. Yeah, just extraordinary. It had such magic to it. The magic of words. Wonderful.
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
that directed by Dirk as well?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Guys, you're giving us so much here of just like of like so much meat to this meal here. Wow.
I'm assuming is that based on the Anansi Boys, or is that just a separate thing? That's
based on the Caribbean folktale of the Anansi spider that does all sorts of terrible things. Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
So cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move along to round 2, shall we? Question 1, round 2. We all know who Luke Skywalker's parents are, but who were his quote unquote aunt and uncle?
Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
We have got it.
Nice. The
And,
aunt always throws me off. Nice work, David. That's great.
Wow.
Yeah, Uncle Owen, I always know, but I.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's one of the lines I had to, of course, say when he comes back to the farm to see things on fire. So
Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru.
Aunt Beru? Yeah, exactly.
Good man.
Yes. So, yeah, sorry, Joseph, just to let you know, I played Luke in the new Lego Star Wars game.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
Congrats. Yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
So if you thought you were talking to Mark Hamill, it's David. They sound very similar. Good thing we have video up so we can tell them
Exactly.
apart.
Yes.
And his handy name down in the corner there. So
Yeah.
keeps it straight for everybody.
No.
All right. So question 2. The late Christopher Plummer went to high school with this legendary jazz musician.
It's a tricky one. It
It's
would have
also
been in
interesting
Quebec.
fact.
Oh my God. Would it have been Miles Davis?
No.
No.
No. The
No?
answer is Oscar Peterson.
Well, of
It's such
course
a
we would.
wild, yeah, crazy.
And
One Canadian to another.
yeah.
Foolish.
So
man.
Oscar's daughter Celine told a story about the first time she saw Christopher on stage in Stratford, Ontario, which is about an hour from where we are right now. And he played King Lear, and she saw that at age 11.
Gosh.
So that's a neat little tidbit there, as we have
Oh yeah. I mean,
the great King Lear with us today.
well, I mean, he was a superb actor, and I she couldn't have forgotten it. I mean, just it's the play itself is excruciating, but I mean, his acting was extraordinary. So yeah, magical play, an actor's dream.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How did you keep your stamina up for
that? Swimming.
Yeah.
And
you did a full Sinatra. You you held your breath for as long as possible under the water. Yeah.
and never eating before the show.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I were to eat, I'd have lunch maybe at noon, at 12, and have oranges and stuff during the performance, and not eat, because there's something about burping during blow winds burp.
Amazing. Thank you for the tip. Swimming and fasting. Got it.
I see. This is the other side of the creative process that people don't always hear about. It's important. The burping in particular. Yeah.
All right. Moving along here. Question number 3 in round 2. Who played the 7th Doctor in Doctor Who years 1987 to 1989.
Sylvester McCoy.
It is Sylvester McCoy.
Oh my God!
And then I think Joseph can tell you a little bit about Sylvester McCoy.
If Sylvester ever watches this, he'll never speak to me again.
Oh dear.
I'm going through the alphabet trying, and then it hits me. It was amazing. It was extraordinary, and it was an unusual idea. Let us say that Gareth had to have the Doctor have a confidant, somebody he's. And it's and remember it's British, so it'll be totally down market. So there is a cafe in the middle of the universe somewhere that the Doctor goes and has a cup of tea with his friend, and they talk about the universe. Yeah, and it really was an absolute pleasure. It was fun. I was young, we were all young, and it was we had an excellent director. Good writer, and as luck would have it, I see Sylvester almost every year. We meet at a function somewhere, but I think he's magnificent, and I think he was magnificent as the Doctor, because what he did was he brought the Doctor to the people rather than this kind of declaiming kind of actor.
I'm gonna just
Amazing.
I want to go grab a book here. Just give me one moment here, guys.
Sylvester McCoy was my first introduction to the Doctor, because I moved here in 1987. So I arrived to this frightening thing of these massive robots ingesting people and being just scared shitless as a 10-year-old. But yeah, no, this was it sort of explains what people are like in this country and why.
Extra midnight.
Oh yes.
Is there any connection to who we're talking about in this book?
The
Yes.
Illuminatus trilogy.
My God. Oh, where is it?
Oh, you've got it. Aha.
Nice.
So I believe McCoy and Shea worked together and did some pretty wild stuff.
Yes, I believe so. This is, this is the most extraordinary book, especially for our times. I mean, the way that electronic information is intruding on our lives, and everything is signed by the management and all that good stuff. But yeah. God, what was I saying? Yeah, my wife, my first wife, was the instigator, the bringer of EST, Earhart Seminars training to the United Kingdom or to Europe. So, This is about that time, and people like the late Ken Campbell and people like that were really, all the really far out people in England at the time. The actors of like Nicholas Clay and people like that. I mean, it really was. And I think Werner Earhart and people like that met him, but we never actually got to meet Mr. Shea or Mr. Wilson. But there was some extraordinary things. Yeah.
And just so everyone knows, we're talking about the book, The Illuminatus Trilogy by Robert Shea and Robert Anton Wilson.
Yeah.
And they're very interesting fellas who did some interesting art installations and
it's funny. I was trying to remember.
stories.
Did you give me my copy?
I did not. No,
Okay.
this is the only copy I've ever found.
Okay,
and I found
I was trying to remember because I got it from someone a long time ago, and I couldn't remember.
did you?
I was gifted the book at some point, but I wasn't sure who gave
I
it.
found this at a thrift store for $1. So I'm quite happy about that.
Delightful. That's so
A
great.
nice little find. Let's move along to questions here. We're never going
All right,
to.
so question 4. No, it's delightful. I love that. So question 4. So for the Elizabethans, certain instruments held symbolic significance. And in particular, the winds blew, no good omens. So they often heralded evil banquets, and Titus and Macbeth accompanied the visions of the 8 kings, the great witches, scenes of the latter play. What instrument are they referring to when they refer to the winds that blew no good? And it's often an instrument that's used to show foreboding in classical renditions of most of Shakespeare's plays.
They also provided a grim overture to the dumb show in Hamlet.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Not a crumhorn. Is it a crumhorn? No.
No.
Damn it. A, B, C, D. I have to go through the alphabet to get to it.
M-N-O...
Oboe?
Oboes,
Yes.
yeah. Or hoboys, as they referred to.
Yes.
Yeah,
boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw the crumhorn, but I didn't see the... Yes. Bring on the hot boys.
Hot boys.
Don't worry, they're here.
Nice.
All right, last question, round 2 here. The Wachowski siblings directed Cloud Atlas with this German director.
That would be Tom Tykwer.
Correct. And David worked with Tom on A Hologram for the King.
Yeah, with Tom Hanks. And it was... we had to go to Morocco for Saudi Arabia. It's about a man who goes and tries to bring the American dream with him to Saudi Arabia. He thinks that because he's an American, the red carpet will be rolled out, and everyone will be wanting to work with him. But unfortunately, he finds that that the world has moved on. Yeah. And it was a film all about waiting. So that's why people don't really know very much about it, because it is very difficult to create a film about nothing happening. And so, but I still think that it is a beautiful film, and I think that Tom is amazing in it.
Yeah.
So it's available on Netflix if you have feel the need.
It was a kind of cinematic Waiting for Godot or something.
Yes, yeah. Well, we actually did mention that at one point, but it is the thing that everyone. The British have had the same feeling about their empire, where they think that they're shocked when people feel that they were oppressed by something, or they think that they'll be anyone who thinks that they will be greeted as liberators or as kings usually have a mighty fall.
Yes, the days of Lawrence were long
absolutely.
Gone. Please tell me the name of the film.
It's called A Hologram for the King.
Hologram for the King.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I had to watch a Tom Tykwer film in high school. Our English teacher made us watch Run Lola Run.
Lola Run.
Just for the editing and the Ryan, were you?
Oh yeah.
Did you get that too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it was because of the editing.
Wasn't it a lot the continuous shot? Wasn't that one of the first?
Yeah, and it was also the fact that it was the thing of having the same starting moment, but then having it play out differently.
Almost no dialogue, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes, it's
just a new form of storytelling in a way for film.
Yes.
In the 90s.
And that's also why he became a man who would write the film, direct it, produce it, edit it, and also write the score.
Yeah, and that score was a lot of electronic stuff too, right?
Yeah,
kind of transy stuff. So are there
he didn't have money.
Tom Tick? Yeah,
didn't have money.
I'd love to go to like a rave where Tom Tykwer is the DJ. That would be.
So would I.
A good one.
So would I. My God, I'll mention it to his people.
Yeah. Make that happen, will you? That'd be great.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, it will be happening in Berlin though. Just so you know.
It would.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
We'll make it work. Yeah.
All right, let's move over to round three.
Round three. All right. So, question 1 of round 3. Anfield Stadium is the home to which football club in England?
Enfield.
Anfield Stadium.
I specifically said no.
I know. I knew David was going to be upset about this question. I'm very sorry, David. Yeah, I know. It was in your rider and everything, but
You know what, Ryan? I wonder if our accents are not doing us any good here. Could it be on field? I don't know.
No,
I wanna say
Enfield is correct. I know there's a police academy in around in Enfield. I really don't know which football team.
But Enfield with an E, where is it? That sounds so familiar, which is not this.
It's
Stadium.
northeast London.
Yeah,
Yes, right.
kind of slightly north of Golders Green, Hendon, that kind of.
Okay. So Anfield
East
Stadium.
of.
Oh, do you mean
Right.
Anfield? You mean
Spell it. It's Liverpool.
ANFIELD? Yes,
Yes.
that's Liverpool. Yeah.
Oh, it's Anfield.
Yeah.
I knew.
Anfield.
Oh, it was our accents that were the. Oh, I see.
That's why I said Anfield.
Anfield.
I'm so
So even though
disconnected.
David didn't want this question, he did get it. So I'm just going to point that out.
All right.
Begrudgingly takes the point. Nice.
My best
I've got
friend is a football maniac, and her favorite team is Liverpool.
It's Liverpool.
Yeah.
Today's the big day. It's the
Yeah.
big today. Yeah.
And you're a football fan, Joseph?
I wouldn't go that far, but I have supported Fulham all my life, and now we're back into the Premier League. We'll see.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Back up.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
good
I
job.
love Fulham. Yes, it took a lot of faith and commitment
All right.
to support them. But yes,
Very good. Okay, so this is going to be,
Question
I
2.
don't know, we'll see here. Question 2. High Barnet is the last stop on this London Underground line. What is the second last stop on this line?
Oh my God. Finchley
David's
Central?
waiting to hit the buzzer here. No.
No, so
Oh.
it's Totteridge and Whetstone, and then
Mhm. You got it.
High Barnet?
yeah, it's
Oh,
Whetstone.
my God.
Totteridge and Whetstone.
Totteridge and
Good
Whetstone.
man.
Yes.
Wow.
Did you guys know I lived there?
And yeah.
The north.
Yeah,
we get the Piccadilly and the Central and the District. We don't use the Northern Line.
Yeah. Well, I used to live.
No
in
one knows
Whetstone.
this line.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, David, when we spoke last, we brushed upon that because I had
That's
lived in
right.
Whetstone years
We
ago
did.
as well. Yeah.
That's
And,
right.
yeah.
Of course, Totteridge, lovely pubs.
Totteridge.
Totteridge
What a
and
nice
Whetstone.
name.
Did you ever get your hair cut on High Street in Whetstone? Because I'm trying to think of the barber there I used to go to, and he was a really funny guy, and I cannot think of his name, but it was because it's always Tony's Barbershop, right, or something like that. I can't think of the gentleman's
Paul's.
name.
Yes.
No, I went to
barbershop.
Tony and Guy, if that makes
Tony and Guy now.
which is a
Tony and Guy.
different one.
Just thinking about haircuts. I need one. All right, moving along here.
Okay. The Tracy family were the heroes in this 1960s British television show.
Joseph, do you know?
No, I don't.
If
No.
I said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh God. In 1960s?
Yes.
Children's show.
Children's show.
Children's
Yeah,
show.
it would have been a children's show. Yeah.
The only 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 I can think of is a Ready, Steady, Go. But that's something entirely. No, I don't know.
It's Thunderbirds Are Go.
Oh my.
Thunderbirds.
Dun, 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 dun.
Now, David has worked on the more recent animated television show, but
I see.
Joseph, I'm sure
Yeah.
growing up in the
Yeah.
60s in England, you would have watched Thunderbirds? Was that
Oh,
so?
absolutely, I did. It was magnificent. Wow, wonderful. Oh no, I mean yes, yeah. I think about that time, I may have been about 15, 16. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. It was in black and white because we didn't have color television at that time.
Right.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Oh God, Lady Diana or whatever her name was, and
Lady
her
Penelope.
chauffeur,
Penelope,
Lady Penelope.
right.
Lady Penelope, that's the one.
Yes.
And her chauffeur.
Yes.
And the kind of
Parker.
Yeah, Parker. Just wonderful.
Brain.
And the gunslingers, the flying jets or whatever they were.
Well, I've got to ask if you've worked with David Graham ever, because he was the voice of Parker and Brains in the original series, and he also worked on Doctor Who, and so I'm wondering if you worked with him. He would be quite a bit older than you because he is in his 90s now,
right?
And just one of the loveliest people I've ever worked with.
Possibly, I can't think of it. Yeah.
No.
And at the moment, thinking's not my thing. So
I mean,
after we finish this,
are you telling me that I'm gonna get worse? Is this because at the moment I can barely remember my own name. So
it gets worse, because then it doesn't really matter.
Okay, good,
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why we're kind of exercising you guys now. Keep you on your toes here.
Thank you. And that's why as actors we're allowed to call each other darling. So,
exactly.
All right. So,
question 4.
What year was Lego released?
Multiple choice.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
multiple choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
throw him a bone. Yeah, exactly.
What year was Lego released? 1971, 1950, 1965, or 1942?
I would say 65. Purely because of the plastics revolution. But it could also be the 70s.
I would go earlier. So, just after the war, 50s.
It was 1950, and it was actually after their factory burned to the ground. And because he'd been dabbling in plastics, it was all wood up to that point, and he thought as a recovery technique that the plastics were a strong enough product that he just went full plastic. And so that's actually what pushed it into it. In 1947 it burnt down, and then 1950 they launched the full plastic line. And then the rest is history. It's such an enduring product. It's kind of wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've been invited to go to Billund to the mothership. I'd see if I'd gone, I would have known.
That's right.
Where is that?
Billund in Denmark. Yeah, so it's on I think it's on the largest island, and quite far up north. Yeah,
Very cool.
Very small country, but yes, and wouldn't it be a little bit weird to be an adult just with no kids going to Lego?
Yeah, to Lego.
Well, I feel that way about Disney World too, but I mean, I see a lot of folks there with no kids.
Okay.
But they're chasing something, that nostalgia, right? They want to be kids again.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, we all do.
True.
That's
in a way.
Hey,
Fine. I'm gonna go. Okay.
do it. Come on, it'll be fun.
I was young once. Why not?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last question of our last round is: who appeared in, conducted, produced, and directed the music video for "We Are the World"?
Oh, we are the world. We are the children.
I believe you've worked rather close with this fella, Joseph.
Would he also have been Michael Jackson's producer?
He would have been.
Damn it!
Throw it out there.
Did he also produce TV shows?
He did.
Some shows, random shows. Yeah.
Really popular shows.
Likely the best sitcom of all time.
Is he?
Start at O again. Start at O and then move
Sort
a
of
couple
Q?
over. Yes,
Yeah, maybe.
you've got it. Quincy Jones.
Quincy
And-
Jones. You see,
And
the time we live in, I mean, it's so easy to forget the kind of achievements of these, these extraordinary men. It's like,
don't worry, Joseph. I will edit this to sound perfect. Don't worry.
thank you, sir. Oh, that's another one I won't be able to live down.
Well, can I ask? Did you know that you were part of something special? Did you as soon as you started working on it, or was it just another gig at first?
It sort of started off as another gig at first because I went over to do the pilot. They brought me to America to do the pilot. I did the pilot. I came back. I went to Milton Keynes to work on a Wally Schwenker play for the BBC called Madman and Specialist. And my agent calls me. We're in 2 weeks into it, and she says, "Oh, remember that thing you did in America? They want to do a series. You kind of go." So, they'll fly you, and you get a place to live, and you can drive, can't you? You have a car and all that kind of stuff. And then you go. And so I did that. But looking back on it, the man who was responsible with Quincy for my kind of being part of it was a man called Brandon Tartikoff, who was the head of NBC, in the whole corporation, and he said to them, you guys really got to stop. We're going for something new, and we have to have new stuff. Yeah, so this is the man we want. And Quincy had seen me with the Royal Shakespeare Company, and all that kind of good stuff. But in the end, because Brandon made the decision, I had Quincy on my side, and when I met Will, I had Will on my side. And but yeah, in the end, it was Brandon. He said, yeah, he was on my side, and I'd never met the man before. Kind of. I didn't even know he was who he was. But no, we never had no idea what it would become. Another hint was that they would not sign more than we were given 6 seasons and no more, regardless of what happens. And by the 4th season, we realized when Will went off to do the John Guare play, what was it?
6 Degrees of Separation.
6 Degrees of Separation. That we realized that we had something special with.
Yeah.
So, but I did have the good fortune to work with John Guare after that. I did a play at the Lincoln Center.
Oh wow!
For him, so that was fun too. Yeah.
Now, as a viewer, I would have been about 9 or 10 years old, watching the show, and I cannot describe with words how important that was to me. Because as a child, TV kind of does help you out in some ways with just with seeing other cultures, with seeing other families, and everything that comes with these shows. There was a point that I can be very specific about, and I don't want to go too heavy on this, but there was an episode, I think it was within the first couple, in which Will's father comes back and wants to, and then he does the whole "I'm leaving," and the performance that Will gave shook me up, because I was watching a comedy. I was watching Will be this goofy actor who made me laugh, and he was an inspiration, or I guess kind of a role model. And then he gives that performance, and what James Avery does with the holding, and that I kind of have chills speaking about it, guys, because that affected me, and I realized, oh, this is not just comedy. And I wonder, Joseph, was there a point where that happened to you, where you were on set and said, oh, this is not just a comedy, and it kind of is, but oh my goodness, we're doing something a little bit different, and we're actually having an effect on society in some sort of way. Did that happen?
In my experience of the show, I mean, it happened to all of us, and it that episode you speak of, I mean, was extraordinary. And firstly, it up to that point, Will was considered, just this rapper who was lucky and landed a television series, and that episode actually showed that that there's more to him than a fast talking car salesman. For me, it was my integration as a Caribbean person who lives in England, who goes to America to be an American and African, a show about African Americans. It was the moment I became the foreign brother. I mean, I simply use foreign to define rather than as a label, when I was really embraced and I became. And it's up to this day. I am an American actor. Whenever I go back, it's like welcome home, and it simply came from the very first time we were nominated for an Emmy, which we didn't win, of course, but we were nominated, and it was like us. Us.
Mm-hmm.
We have done something extraordinary. We have taken the kind of adventure of African Americans in television from Cosby to the next level, and it was extraordinary. And that's what I learned. And to have the kind of supervising producers, the Quincy's and those and Brandon and those kinds of people. Somebody, Winifred Hervey as well, those people. I never guessed that 31 years later, 1990, 32 years later, I'd still be talking about the show and people still be asking about it. But I felt that I had made a contribution to the history and the lives of African Americans and people all over the world. And yeah, I mean, it was purely magical. But nobody kind of thought that I could be funny as well. So, really.
Well, you certainly proved them wrong.
Yes, you did.
In many ways, you were the funniest because you were almost. I feel like sometimes the audience sees the Banks family through you too, as the outsiders going like, "These people are ridiculous." Sometimes, or like, yes. What are they up to next? Yeah. And you're the one that's kind of like, okay, guys. So we get to really relate with you, and you're such an important.
Thankfully,
you're such an important piece to that.
Congratulated, so that's good.
Mm-hmm. Guys, I don't know what happened with the score there. I think it was pretty close.
Yeah, it was. We're gonna say it was a tie.
No, you guys are really nice, but I think young David crushed me. But he's a.
I've been called young for years. Thank you so much.
No, there's another win for you, David.
Yeah, thank you.
So for our listeners, if they would like to follow you on anywhere online, to hear what you're up to next, or to hear what you guys are saying out there, where can they find you, David?
It's at David Menkin at the usual places. So Twitter and Instagram is where I'm the most active, if at all. Yes.
Okay. Where can people find you there?
Joseph Marcell 7. And the other places that I shall be, I'll be doing my first play away from London in a long time. I shall be in Calgary doing Driving Miss Daisy, and I hope it does the same for me as it did for that other actor.
Whoever that was.
Whoever he was. Yeah. So I shall be there from September to November.
Thank you for joining us on Tales from the Bridge today. Next episode, Neil Blomkamp and Peter Watts, the extended cut. We hope you can join us for that one. If you really like these Tales from the Bridge, Trivia from the Bridge episodes, let us know. Go back and look at the old ones. We've done a few. We want to do more. We think they're a lot of fun. We're also going to catch up in September and get going back on the book club with Kurt Vonnegut's The Sirens of Titan, so join us for that one as well. Thank you again. Until next time.